just reflect on the last Ashes and with the benefit of hindsight, how you would sum it up?
Disappointing.
Thank you.
It was... look, England played very well, and I don't think we can overlook the fact that they're a good side and they played very well. We didn't play very well. I don't think there was as much between the two teams as the results showed, but on the day they were able to execute better than we were. There were some disappointments, obviously. You know, if you told me in November that Kadich, Ponting and Clark would hardly make a run between them, and Johnson would probably only have one good test match, I probably could have told you then that we were going to struggle to win the series. So, you know, there were some problems in that regard. We're probably, you know, we're at the end of an era. We haven't got the champions that we had a few years ago, so we were always going to be under a little bit more pressure. I thought at the start of the series that, you know, we could win it. I really did think we could win it, especially being in Australia. But we didn't perform well enough at the right time. The Adelaide Test match was probably the real disaster and the turning point in the series. You know, we'd played pretty well in Brisbane, albeit England made 500 for one in the second innings, but it was a pretty good batting wicket, as you know, our batsmen showed when they batted in the second innings for a much briefer time. The Adelaide Test match, you know, losing 3 for bugger all on the 3 for 2, it was pretty much bugger all. Yep. That was a real blow that I think probably convinced England that they were a real chance of winning the series, and they went on to play well. We had we turned it back in Perth, but that really was against the flow of the series, and that was probably the last gasp. So it was disappointing, but you know, you can't win all the time, I suppose, and probably what it's shown us is that for the next couple of series that we've got, certainly for the next couple of years, we're going to be in a rebuilding phase, and we've got to take that very seriously and start to look at how we get back to being the side that we want to be as quickly as possible.
Well, and that's what I was going to ask you about, because that's, you can explain to us, is that what your job now entails? It's a pretty difficult job. How do you find that next Ashes winning team?
Well, I've been very lucky that, you know, when I came back from India, Cricket Australia employed me as the head coach at the Centre of Excellence in Brisbane, which is pretty much the place that all our good young cricketers come through, and I've been working with our youth programs over the last couple of years, so I know who all the good young cricketers are. We've been working with them for the last few years. We've got some real talent there, and you know, I have no doubt that we will be a good side again in the not too distant future. The tough time is going to be over the next 18 months to 2 years while we're bringing those kids through. You know, hopefully we can do it while we've got Ponting and Hussey and Kadich around the place to be able to help them from an experience point of view as we bring some of these young cricketers in.